All right, so I want to go over today the warm-up sequence or just the sequence of progressions that we use for an Olympic lift, whether we're teaching it to a first-time Olympic lifter, CrossFitter, or anyone in the athletic population that we have these lifts applied to. So first thing we're going to do, we'll probably have gone through these with a PVC pipe at some point. And again, what I would say is if it's too much of an empty barbell right now, go to the PVC pipe. But I'm going to show us right now really the warm-up sequence that we use. This is before we put any weight on the bar. This is all empty bar work. The patterns and way that you move with an empty bar is going to mimic how you move with weight on the bar. If you don't move well with an empty bar, you're not going to move well with lightweight on the bar, but especially once you start to get some heavier weights on the bar. So first thing we're going to work on is just the floor pull more than anything. We really want to make sure we're in a good starting position. So we're going to work on the cleans here more than anything to start. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put the bar, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our first pull position. So again, without any plates on the bar, the bar's not going to be touching the ground. It's going to be just above it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into that first position here. And I really want to make sure my chest isn't pointed down with this like a deadlift. I want to make sure almost like the upper part of my middle of my chest is pointed up in front of me, okay? So then from there, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to push up, and then I'm really just bringing the bar to my hip. I'm not opening up. I'm really just still keeping that bar going into my hip right here, okay? So that's a floor pull. So we're going to do 5 of those. Just work on getting the bar to the hip, okay? Next, we're going to go into a hang pull. Again, we are still not opening up our hips or anything like that. We're just working on the pull to the hip. So for this, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start just above the knee. And what I really want us to focus on here is almost like I'm dragging that bar against my shorts here in this case. So I'm down at that knee here. You're going to see I'm going to slightly reshift my body weight like this, keeping that bar engaged to me like that, okay? So we're going to do 5 of those. Next, we're going to go up to the hip position. So all we're working on here is a high pull. So we're in a pretty upright position here. I'm working on just dragging that bar up against my shirt. Drag up, bring it down. Drag up, bring it down. So you should see your shirt start to move a little, okay? Now you can see like I'm already starting to get a little fatigued. So empty barbell work, it can really add up, all right? So I'm just going to reset here. So that's the first 3 parts of this warm-up sequence. 5 reps each. If you need to do another set because you want to work on a little bit more in one spot versus the other, totally fine to do that. So now we're going to work into our high pull variation. So we're going to go ahead, pick up that bar. We're going to start in that hang position. So I'm going to be here, pull in, come up. I'm here, and come up. Now, what I want to make sure we're not doing is we're not starting to open up too early, and I'm also not coming up onto my toes too early. We're not doing any of that until we get to the hip and then pull up. So that's our hang high pull. Now we're going to go into some power work. So reset if you need to. We're going to start at that knee position here, good firm contact with the ground. Now we're going to go into a power clean and come down. So we're going to do 5 of those, okay? Now I like to get into, for a clean work, we're going to work into some front squats. So we're just going to really just go ahead, get in our good front squat position here. A couple reps here, really just getting that pattern going. And then the last thing is a full lift. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get a hang clean here. So we're going to start just above the knee, making sure I'm over the bar, I'm not behind, and go into a full lift. All right, so again, 5 each of those. Whether you go straight all the way through with them or you take a break at each point, really leave it up to you, depending on how fatigued or whatnot that you get.